Hello YouTube. Hello YouTube. I am going back to where I left you in that short video 30 minutes ago. We are going to take it back after the introduction of the confession of Gérald Loiseau to Christina and his mother and his stepfather. Now we reach the level of where people in Sodo is gonna have to recognize the will done, they call Reno Falaise, Reno Boutcan Sans Fait, Reno Iron Short Pants. So he's in Sodo getting ready to invoke the spirit, for the spirit to do what he has to do. As he started to explain to me, he says, "My son, I call the spirit. When the spirit arises, he start introduce himself. I do not know what happened from there. But all I remember what the spirit come and tell me the next day. And that spirit called Mpaka, come down and knock your stepfather out cold to sleep. Knock your stepfather out to sleep. His mother knock out cold to sleep. The two boys that's going to shake the stuff all around the house is already gone. My two sisters is sleeping inside. The men told me the spirit took my mother and go to the cemetery. Go before the first dead men of the cemetery they call Bao Sanji. Wash her up, do a voodoo ceremony on her. Come down to the first corners, feed the corners, call Papa Legba. Papa Legba is a spirit Haitian called Legba, standing in the four corners and the gates, and he got the keys of all the four corners in his hands. He said he called Papa Legba to eat with him in Sodo. He called the voodoo spirit Sodo to eat with him in Sodo and to stand by him as long as he's in Sodo to do his voodoo work. So after he called Papa Legba, he called the first dead man Baon Samedi. And then he said he come and called the spirit that guides Sodo. And the spirit that guides Sodo supposed to be Ezili Freda, Ezili Danto. Ezili Freda is like the Lady Bon Carmel. Ezili Danto is like the Lady Notre Dame de la Merci. So those two spirits, you cannot touch children from Sodo if this lady don't give you permission. So he went and asked these two ladies, of which I just showed you my two daughters. That's those two ladies' pictures in dream and in reality and in full flesh and blood. So, to tell you that the man said he passed another four corners they call Kafou Cimetière. He passed on the four corners they call Sous Frontière, Kafou Frontière, Sous Portail. He said he paid all these four corners. And then when he showered my mother in the middle of the four corners, he says that he come home and then he washed my mother in a different corner that goes before the church. And all these things, nobody knows what he's doing, where the spirit is at with my mother. So when they come back to the house, everybody who was there still sleeping. The two boys, they wandering everywhere. They don't even make it back to the house. So when he come back with my mother, he says, as he's saying to me, that my stepfather, father, is the first one. He rise up. The spirit rise him up. And when he rise up, he touched his wife. He said, oh wow, everybody's sleeping. Wake up, wake up. He wake up his wife. And his wife touch her son, which is my stepfather, Gerard. And that's when Gerard says, oh, when Pou Mwen, oh, I fall asleep all the way, you know. And the mother said, me too, you know. And only him that wake up the mother. He said, me, I don't know, I wasn't asleep, but I see. I just was about to fall asleep. He don't know. So when they saw my mother sit down there, the men only tell my mother, tell your husband what the spirit tells you to do. And that's when my mother opened her mouth and said to her lover, listen, the spirit says, after tonight, you need to have sex with me for 7 days. Straight, après 7 days, pas coucher sous cabane avec moi, pas faire rien, jusqu'à ce que me doume enceinte. Don't sleep on the same bed with me for 7 days. The spirit says for me to tell you, don't sleep with me for 7 days. You're gonna have sex with me straight for 1 week. After 7 days, you cannot sleep on the same bed with me, and you cannot sleep in my womb until I tell you I'm pregnant. So whatever the spirit tell me to do, for you to do, he said we must do them. She was Ampaka. And Ampaka said we shall have more than one son. So my brothers and sisters that's listening to me, did you understand? The spirit come from wherever, from Africa, visit my will father, blood father, Reno Fales. His mother, and his mother released the spirit in full force to come and protect the son, and for the son to get result in everything that he's doing. The first thing the spirit do is knock out cold everyone that wasn't his people. So as the spirit knock out everyone, you can see he gives Reno, my father, all authority. Authority, just like God knock Joseph out and take over Mary and get Mary pregnant, and told Joseph in a dream, listen to me, accept your woman, because whatever happened to your woman was a divine mistakes and natural mistake story. So accept your woman and go on and live with your woman. As Saint Joseph, who was born on March 19, followed God and said to God, yes, I will do that. Same way Gerard said to Christina and to Ampaka, we will keep everything here secrets, and whatever we do here shall remain between me and you and the spirit and the mother and my parents. Belle histoire, mes amis. Nice story. So the devil came and deliberate a man from his own devilish family and society and friends in Sodom. So as the devil from Africa came to fight the devils of the European in 1791, we were baptized, the Black Freedom. In 1791, Toussaint Louverture had baptized the Black Freedom Tree to abolish slavery from 1791. So same way, the Spirit come down and baptize the family of Gérald Loiseau under Ampaka and tell them, from this guy named Baby you shall have more babies, and you shall have more sons. Joseph also, God had promised him, after Jesus, Marie will have more, and Marie end up have James, Jude, Jean, Thomas. Mes amis, same way, for me as a Haitian boy, my father told me when the Spirit came, Ampaka deliberate Gérald Loiseau and Christina Loiseau. By one night, the Spirit clarified all the superstitious life the people of Sodo was doing against my stepfather, who raised me until he died when I was 17 years old. So, what do you think? Reno do what he had to do, and he told everyone from now on, when you see Gérald Loiseau, you see me behind him. When you see Christina Pierre-Louis, you see me behind him. And whenever you see one of these family members, you see me, Ampaka or Reno Boutcanson. There you. Behind them, that's where I belong. So listen, my people. From there, you don't know what happened. Story goes, my mother slept with my stepfather for 7 days. 7 days Ozo Mare, 7 days. Every day, every night, every day, every night for 7 days. He has to have a son. But whose sons? Ampaka's sons was already the one who set the track, who won the railroad wires for him to have sons. So which sons you will think? They said after 7 days, he finished having his 7 days. Whales, tapadi tap. Putting work in on my beloved piece of mother I ever have. To see that they said after 7 days, by the Spirit declaration, he cannot have no more. So for a good 2-3 weeks to a month, he's still waiting to hear. After a month and a half, he said, yes. What happened, baby? I don't see it yet. You don't see it yet. Good. Second month. What happened, baby? I don't see it yet. I think I'm pregnant. Boom. Call him, ask him to reveal it. When Wayno came, do some reading. Yes, she's pregnant. A few days, 2 months. Boom. He's happy. My mother happy. 3 months later, baby, his stomach show. 4 months later, baby growing. 5 months later, I'm out. Baby's showing. Everyone can see. 6 months, all the blood suckers wanna get ready to suck again. But every time they fly, it's like Manhattan. If you fly over Manhattan, you fall. So he turned the house in Sodo into Manhattan. No fly zone. You fly as a blood sucker. You fly over this house, you dead. And if you're not dead, you fall until he come and rescue you. You trap. That was that same spirit who trapped the European when they came and put black people into slavery in Haiti. That spirit like to trap you if you think you can trap the ancestors' children. If you think you can trap people that believes in him, he come in and trap you and trap them. So they said, as the spirit is moving around, Mom, we're looking at Mom is 8 months, 7 months. Boom, I'm 9 months. Oh, boom. Stomach big, 9 months old in the stomach. Wayno said he knows what's gonna happen. He already prepared it. He said, I'm supposed to be born sometimes in February, but things do not go according to the spirit. In the date, the spirit can provide the soul, but the spirit don't provide the date exactly. I said, okay. When they search to see if I'm coming out in the end of February, I don't come out in February. When they see March 3rd, March 5th, my mother cannot see me yet. But they said by March 15, before the days and the nights go down, it was 12 o'clock. By night, I was around to be born. And I was born around the 15th, around 11 o'clock. Going to be 12 o'clock at night. They said when I was born, bloodsucker surrounded the house. My father rise up and caught goat and offer as sacrifice. Kill goat. You can ask my sister Juju. She will tell you that's when they had more meat, more offering, more meat for the spirit to eat and for everyone in the family to eat. So they said when I was born, it was like a big party. But they said there's one thing that stopped the party from going on. When my stepfather picked me up from my mother and looked at me, he saw nothing. He saw nothing. The same friend he brought to help him, he saw the friend picture. As he says to my mother, that's your son. You wanted to have your first son. You wanted to show people in Sodo. You always said, you don't only fart in your butt, but you make your pum pum fart in them too. So you said, like you always said in Creole, so now you got it. You got what you want. You got your son and 2 daughters. But that's your son, because he look just like you and you again. But that don't look like my son. And he says there's no problem though. I'm not gonna take him to go introduce him to the family all over. But they gonna come here. I shall hear what they gonna say, because you can see for yourself. You will have to explain to yourself. When the spirit had came, what happened between the spirit and you? But me, I didn't know. I was sleeping. I was knocked out cold. So that's when he says, oh, I was knocked out cold. So that's between you and the spirit. But I know I brought him here, so that's my problem too. So they said from there, he called Reno and asked Reno, what happened, Reno? Why the little boy look just like you? Why the little boy smile like you? Why the little boy have your ears, everything? And Reno says, so I was there when you was there? Or he was the spirit who do what he has to do? Or are you asking me? Or you want me to go back and call the spirit for you? And that's when they said, he says, you know, my father and my mother might not like this thing. So therefore, I'm gonna have to see what we're gonna do. Okay? Because if they start talking, saying the baby don't look like me, the baby look just like you, I don't know what I'm going to say, because the baby don't look like me. He looks like you. So between the friend that bought him and the other friend, he started to feel a certain way. But he says, remember what I told you. Whatever you had said to your family, they cannot judge you by it. So therefore, you cannot judge the baby by whatever happened. That's when he says, okay, I remember. So whatever happened, it happened between the spirit and the woman. And whatever happened between you and me stayed between me and you. So that's between us. That's when he said to her, you remember that, because the day you reveal that, that's when you see all these people who wanted to kill you will finally kill you. So my people, so somebody, I'm a Samba. I'm a true Israelite. That's how you say Israelite in Haiti. Samba. So guess what, my people? As I was only 4 days old, my misery started, because I don't look like the men who expect to have me, but I look like instead the voodoo man, my father, Reno Fales. So from there is another part of my life, because I'm a baby. I don't know what was happening. I was a baby. I don't know who hates me from birth. I don't know who don't like me from birth. But all I know is that there was a fight started there. And on that fight, my mother was the only one to bear it. And my mother bare it and keep bearing it until she died when she was 19 years old, and still never explained to me. My stepfather bare it and give me a little piece of it in parables, as you saw in my first video, and never explained to me what he did between my will father and a spirit and my mother. But people, as I'm growing up, the way they act with me, the way they start treating me, the way they start acting towards me, that's how I end up knowing these people don't really like me. But that's for me to start explaining to you on the next video, because the next video is gonna be more fire when I tell you now what happened from this argument between him and my will father, my voodoo father, and his friend, my stepfather, Gérald Oiseau. So Reno Fales now and Gérald Oiseau is not being seen on the same eyes no more. They don't look at each other eyes to eyes no more, because he has a feeling that this man have sex with my mother, with my woman, with my baby's mother, because my first son looked just like him. But I can't do nothing but take it as it is and deal with it. So I will count my blessing as the Spirit told me. From this baby, I will have more babies. From this son, I will have more sons. So I call him Joseph. Since he was born in March 15, I call him Joseph because Joseph was born in March 19. And I said, just like I will be his stepfather, he shall be Joseph because Joseph also had a stepfather. Joseph also was a stepfather. He was Jesus' stepfather. Same way a spirit got me a baby and have another man get my woman pregnant, same way God had did the same thing to Joseph. So I'm gonna name him Joseph Ernst, my first son to carry my last name Loazo. And all my sisters and my brothers may hate me for that, but I will call my first son Joseph Ernst Loazo. Today, I am Brother Joseph. Today, I am that Joseph that suffer from the first day they saw my face in Sodo. That caused an argument where two friends don't become enemy that they can't be friends anymore. I was that face. And I'm gonna have to tell you, from that time, he separated. The separation between the two friends caused my mother and my real father end up going to have another woman next door and get pregnant to have another baby for my real father, Reno Fales. Within the same following 2 years that he's gonna live in Sodo to watch me grow up. So my people, my video is very interesting, especially if you like roots, if you like to hear story that are based on true facts, pure facts, facts that can be checked out for any real movie about the power of voodoo in Haiti, the power of family Sodo, who I'm representing in New York City, out from Solino. See you later, because the second video will be way better, and I will get ready to make sure you see the lion, show you that the lion is still standing. The lion, a lion. A lion, a lion. A lion was born. From the look on the lion face, they say, this can't be. This can't be. But this a lion story. From Sodo, I was born. And they gave me name. And they gave me identity. Out from Africa, of the tribe of Jacob and Israel, David, and the Levites. So I am here to let you know. Pay attention to me. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Subscribes me. Likes my video. Follows me on YouTube and on Facebook. On Messenger. Put your comment. And please, be courageous. Because one day, you will see. All these videos will be able to make you feel like if this man was born this way and still come to America, then anything can happen. As long as you have a head, you can still wear your hat. Just keep your head up and watch your deed, your work speak for yourself. Let Jah rise. Let your work, your good deed work for you. Only goodness and mercy shall surely follow you all the days of your life. And I will dwell in the house as I dwell in the house of the Most High. Me, Brother Joseph, on the next video. I love my people. Strength